Hi, I'm Heather from booktubes, and I'm a mood reader who is doing a mood reading vlog. The idea for this vlog was from Jan at Jan Agaton. Obviously, I've seen people do mood reading vlogs. I don't know. She was doing a mood reading vlog, and I was like, as a mood reader, I could do a mood reading vlog. I could call it that. It is just a reading vlog, but nonetheless, like, you know, it doesn't matter if it takes a week, doesn't matter if it's a few days, doesn't really matter how long it is, doesn't matter what I do. It's just a mood reading vlog. This is a brilliant idea. Sometimes I do need things spelled out for me, even though it's like already already what I'm doing. Sometimes it's just like, well, let us call it that and do that. And I need a video because I changed my mind. I canceled a couple of videos. I was like, no, I don't want to do that now. And then I needed a video and I was like, what could it be? And this is what happened, so you're welcome. So I'm starting off this mood reading chronicles, the mood reading chronicles, as I often do, and that is with decision paralysis. I don't know what to pick up. I've finished my last book. I've DNF'd a couple of books last night, and now today I haven't read anything yet. I really want to read something because there's still a lot of time in the day. Almost 6 o'clock in the evening. I really want to read something. I don't know what, and I can't choose. I stayed up past 2 reading a book, and I'm suffering. I'm paying for it. It was one of those things where it's like, well, I'm too ramped up by the book that if I stop reading, I'm just gonna lay here thinking about the book. So honestly, it'd be more efficient to just finish the book. But I'm so tired. Right, it's a full cup of coffee later. I've done some journaling. My do or die video is posted. Done all sorts of stuff. I have now read a couple of sci-fi romances in a row. So I do think I'm going to pivot. But the one that I read last night was Dark Horse by Michelle Diener, I'm not sure. And that is class 5, number 1. I gave it 5 stars. The Romantasy series that I just read a few in is by the same author. And I can see like the constant action, something's constantly going wrong, we're being kidnapped, we're being, you know, whatever, and we have to rescue ourselves. I can see the same thing in both series, but I kind of liked the fantasy setting a little bit more because the sci-fi one, her ally is a sentient AI, which kind of creeps me out a little bit. Honestly, having read it and like the way it was described, I would have expected it to creep me out more than it did. So I think because the AI always kind of has a lot of goodwill and affection towards the main character, I think is why it didn't creep me out, but I would still kind of expect it to. She's a human, she's been kidnapped from Earth, she's been on, you know, this evil aliens ship, but the aliens that are evil are part of the like intergalactic alliance, and they're not supposed to be getting like sentient species at all. And she's been experimented on and tortured for 3 months, and then the AI orchestrates this escape, right? And I read this in my sci-fi try chapter in March. This is one of the ones that survived, that stayed on the TBR, and now I have read it. This AI does her rescue, puts her in the path of this other alien species that are very human-esque, and so, you know, he thinks that they will be a good home for her and compatible, and she'll be happy there. And this is one of those ones where like the alien species pulls humanity. Okay, so the captain of the military vessel that she has the romance with, he's like on her side, and there's like a couple people on her side, right? But there's military personnel, there's politicians, there's all these things, and there's a bunch from all different sectors. Like, they're not treating her well, and they keep making like huge missteps and like distrust and, you know, trying to manipulate her instead of just negotiating in good faith. That happens all the way until the end of the book. And the end of the book, like, the only reason why they continue to ally themselves, she and the AI, with them is because, like, they choose to. They haven't handled anything correctly, and they keep trying to kill her. Like, different people keep trying to kill her, and then the ones who aren't trying to kill her are trying to manipulate her, and, like, just the worst possible decisions, you know, if you are trying to be allies. And honestly, like, I kind of ended the book a little bit dissatisfied with that, because it was just like, you guys messed up all the way to, like, the last page. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? I assume it's because the series deals with other AIs and other, like, ships that the AI runs, which is the class 5 that the series name is on. So I would imagine, you know, there's a lot of distrust of AIs. There's history there. And I get all of that. I'm sure the distrust and, you know, the tension, I'm sure that happens in the other books with other characters. They're interconnected standalone romances. So, like, I get it, but still finishing that first book, it kind of was like, I mean, I wouldn't trust these people as far as I could throw them, to be honest with you. And yeah, I stayed up past 2, and, like, I don't know, it's the writing, this author's writing is like, I can see it really annoying people, and I can see it really annoying me the more that I read, but it also did work. It's just constant action. Like I said, someone is always trying to kill you, kidnap you, capture you. Like, you are constantly getting out of situations, and it's like 70 situations per book, you know? It's like very romantic suspense-esque, and that's like, and I left the house, and that was the last thing I remember before unconsciousness claimed me as I was kidnapped yet again. It's like very much like that. So I really could see it being very annoying, but for some reason hasn't quite tipped into that for me. I've really enjoyed it, and it's been really easy to just fly through her writing, so that's fun. I do not know what I want to read next. I know I want to pivot. I don't think it's going to be another sci-fi romance, but I don't know what I want to read. I need to film a romantasy try chapter either tomorrow or the next day. I'm not sure when I'm going to do that. It's not going to be today, though. So I know I'm going to do that, and then I might want to read one of those books. We'll see. So I want to read something between now and then, because when I'm coming off of a reading slump, I always feel like once I, like, get out of it, I really want to maintain the reading momentum. I don't want to slip right back into it. And I'm very much in that state. Like, I do not want to spend the next week not reading. I want to be reading. So I don't want to just wait on that. I also don't want to read a different romantasy, I don't think. And I do not know what I do want to read at all. I guess I'll be back with an update at some point. Alright, so I started Savage Prince, which is a mafia romance. I'm DNFing it after 1 chapter because the first line of chapter 2 is 1 month earlier, and I hate it. I hate it. Give me a linear story. And also, at the end of chapter 1 is when she gets kidnapped by the hero, and they meet and stuff. Don't then take me back to what you were doing with your boring life. I don't care. I do not give a I don't care. I don't care at all. Don't do that. My hair is getting so ridiculously long. I need to get it cut, but am I ever going to feel like doing that? I don't know. I'm hungry. I want to go make a bagel sandwich because that sounds delicious. My head hurts. I read like 2 pages probably. I mean, like, very, very barely started. The last series by T.A. White that I have the final book in the fantasy series still to read. But then this dragon series is all I have left by her, and I think I'm going to like it the least. So I'm like not super hyped to read it, but also like it's all I've got left, so a little bit hyped to read it, but the thing is, there's like no romance in the first book, and I really need a romance right now, so I read like 2 pages of that yesterday. I wasn't able to actually make myself read more, so I took it off of currently reading and put it back on what to read, and then I'm probably gonna start something else today, but I haven't. I've been scrolling on my phone for hours, bored out of my mind, with my head hurting, and still haven't managed to read, so it's not going great. Hello. Good morning. I need to film the popular romantasy try chapter this morning. I feel like I'm gonna be really sick of it before I'm done, but we'll see. We'll see what reading looks like after that little project. What I can update you on is last night I was definitely in, reading paralysis because I wasn't in anything. I didn't know what to start, and I was like trying to make myself read, and I was just scrolling and bored out of my mind. So then I did eventually start read. I read a novella that I saw Tama at Shades and Pages. I saw a TikTok that she did. Also, I'm gonna get ready for the try chapter while we talk. Mind you, this wasn't necessarily a recommendation per se. It was just kind of a, so this is a thing that exists. All right, so I read I Fucked Somebody's Wife by somebody. Monet Paris. It was ridiculous. It was utterly ridiculous. Mind you, it was short. It did not take me a long time to read it. But I was like laughing at parts that I'm really not sure the author intended for me to be laughing at. So, I'm just gonna spoil this whole novella for you, okay? So, all right, so they have a one-night stand at a nightclub, and when they are hooking up, after they're done hooking up, she says, "I'm sorry, I'm married." Why would you do that? I don't know. Why would you confess that at that time? It makes no sense. So understand that she is cheating on her husband. As indicated by the title, I feel like we all knew what was going to happen here. And he, in his mind, is outraged, right? And he's like, doesn't matter, she's mine, all of that is mine, right? He doesn't see her again for like a week, and then he sees her and her husband out at dinner, and so he talks to them, and then he fucks her in the bathroom, okay? Well, he finger bangs her, okay? Then he starts sending flowers to her address because the night that he met her, he had one of his guys hack in and find out who she is and everything. Then he's like stalking her. Mind you, her husband is clearly not a great husband. There's nothing really about them loving each other in the book, but not really anything about not loving each other either, honestly. Not really touched on much, the fact that she's in this marriage. Just so ridiculous. I'm sorry. So he's stalking her, and he sees her hug her coworker outside her work, and he's like, hell no. Hell no. Why is this man doing a lingering hug? I don't think so. Mind you, again, she is fully married to somebody else that is not this coworker. He follows this coworker home and kills him. And kills him for hugging what was his, okay? Still married to somebody else. Then he kidnaps her husband. This is a few days later too. Kidnaps her husband and is like, if you want your husband to live, you're gonna come to this address. So she does. I need to go wet my knockoff beauty blender. So she does. She shows up, and he fucks her in front of her husband, who is tied up and moaning and groaning. So then he lets hubby go They don't talk about it. They just quietly get a divorce. Mind you, after he fucks her all night after kidnapping her husband, she stinks out of bed. Okay? So he's not happy with her. So she eventually crawls back to him and is like, please make love to me. I just want you to know, I realize it's a novella, but absolutely no conversations have been had. They've not talked a single solitary time. It's just the dick. It's just the dick. It's just so good. You know what I'm saying? It's just so good. Like, yes, I will blow my whole life up for this. For sure. So she crawls back and is like, please make love to me. Why? We don't know, because they've never talked. They don't love each other, but supposedly they do. And then he's like, well, I have to punish you because you left me. And also, if you ever leave me again, that's it. Okay. Okay, so his feelings are hurt because she left. She says she loves him. He doesn't say it back. He doesn't say it back. Why? Because love doesn't even begin to cover what he feels for her. It's more like obsession. And then that's the end. That's the end. He's obsessed with her. She loves him. Happily ever after, I guess. Oh, also, I think he's gonna marry her. Like that means anything. She was married to somebody else this whole entire time. Didn't stop anything. So anyways, I read that. It's 3 stars, if you were wondering. I did that, and then I had also seen on Amazon a dark shifter wide shoes with non-con, and I was like, oh, well, let me like try that reading and stuff, you know? You know what I'm saying? I was like, I could be in the mood for that. Well, so it opens up. She doesn't know where she is. She doesn't know like what world she's in or what she's wearing or any of this stuff. She kills 2 shifters. I was like, all right, I'm not really into this. Also, she like didn't understand anything that was going on. She like didn't know who she was, where she was, what she knew, what she didn't know. Like she had like amnesia. Could not care less about that. Will actively avoid that because honestly, it's just, even if you ignore all of my like memory trauma, it's just annoying. It's annoying to be following somebody with amnesia. It's like, oh my god, stop. Get your act together, party peoples. That's literally all I'm asking. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you do or not. So anyways, enough that. It was still pretty early last night, but I just couldn't decide anything else to read, especially with the try chapter this morning. I was like, you know, I'll probably want to read something after I do that, or I really won't be in the mood for it, whatever, what have you. So basically this was like looming over me. I was like, I should just go to bed. So that's what I did. And then one of my children could not fall asleep. Okay, cool. Now I have bronzer all over my shirt. Fantastic. One of my children could not fall asleep, and so because of that, felt the need to keep coming in my room and waking me up and letting me know that he was still awake. So that's fun. If you think that you only lose sleep in the first decade of parenting, bad news for you. But hey, it's not every night, so it does get a whole lot better. This looks like garbage. And you know what? So be it. It looks bad. What do you want from me? Any hoozle. I'll let you know after I film this what and if I'll be reading more today. It doesn't have to go up till Saturday, and it's Wednesday right now, so I don't have to edit today if I don't want to. We'll see. I don't know what I'm going to decide to do. I was watching a TikTok of Jackie Aina, and she said to do your setting spray before your mascara, so I said okay. All right, BRB. All right, I'm gonna be real honest with you guys, and you know the truth because you know how much longer this vlog is. I fear that the mood reading vlog is coming to a crashing halt, and I say that because I'm not reading anything. I'm not reading anything. What have I read in like the last 3 days? A novella. You know how long that took me? Not even an hour. not even an hour's worth of good reading. Did I do some try chapter yesterday? Yes. Did I continue it today? No. No. I still have like a lot, more than half to do. Not reading. So anyways, I want to read, not reading, just scrolling TikTok. And I can't even like scroll Twitter and TikTok and stuff right now with all the stuff with the P. Diddy trial, and like I don't have any sympathy for abusers, I understand that. But there's just so many people who would rather have a hot take than empathy, and like so many of their takes are disgusting, and I absolutely hate the way that they talk about these women and as if they are somehow to blame, and I just hate it. I hate it. So I'm not even having a fun time scrolling. Like I'm trying to avoid all that stuff. I'm not avoiding it very well. But I'm trying not to interact because I don't want to see more of it. And so, like, I'm not even having fun scrolling. I want to be reading. I wish I was reading, but I'm not. In the last, like, 3 days, I read a novella that took me less than an hour. That's, like, less than an hour of good reading. I need reading. I'm a reader. All right, so I know that in this vlog, I've been talking about the romanticy try chapter, like it's going to be Saturday's video, which is tomorrow's video, but this is going to be tomorrow's video because I never finished the try chapter. I'll go into all the reasons why in that try chapter because that's what I'm going to do for its next update. But basically, I didn't feel like it was giving it my best, and I didn't feel like that was fair to the video, the genre, the books, all the people that would be interested in clicking in that video in the first place, right? So I did end up reading another book. Last night, I started The Princess and the Pack, and I finished it today. I gave it 3 stars. It's one of those books where I read the whole thing and didn't DNF right away because I just would rather be reading a mediocre book than not reading at all. And sometimes I'm just in those reading moods, right? Currently, what is even today? Let's see. Today's the 16th of May, and right now I have more DNFs this month than books read. And I don't know, I've just been like slumpy, which just kind of sucks. But anyway, so I read The Princess and the Pack. It is a insta love, very easy, very safe, high steam, wide choose omegaverse where they are humans. There's not like shifters or anything. And the nobility and royalty specifically, they don't live in packs the way that the commoners do. But omegas need a pack or they end up getting really sick and dying, and that's why the royals and, you know, their parents and stuff don't live particularly long and they end up dying. They're going to form a pack even though it's against the traditions, and it's fine. It's it's one of those where like there are no conversations for them to end up closer to each other. All of the conversations are kind of for the plot, I feel like. I don't know. It was fine. It was fine. Not great. Not terrible. It was fine. It was 3 stars. So I read that today, and then tonight I've started The Promise by Kristen Ashley. This is one of the few, very few, random Kristen Ashley books that I haven't read yet. But I have been thinking about doing a reread or something. Reading's not going right. I'm kind of in the mood to reread Burn For Me by Elena Andrews. So I checked that out from the library. But I also got this. And this is a series that I read like a couple books in, but a long time ago. But this series is interconnected, obviously, into some of her other romantic suspense series. So this is one that I think their couple was hinted at a lot through the series, but I don't remember at all, and I only read a couple, and I kind of feel like the angst of it will work better for me if I haven't had all the series to build up to it, because, you know, it's one where she was always a good person and they treated her horribly for things that weren't her fault, that type of thing. I'm only like 5% into that, but I'm enjoying it. I have 5 arcs from NetGalley right now, and I need to start a couple of them soonish, I think. So I don't really know where my reading will go after this Kristen Ashley book. I'm hoping that the second half of May is better reading than the first half, for sure. For sure. So send me the good vibes. Let me know what your mood reader problems are. And I hope for some unknown reason you enjoyed watching my struggle this week, but I do feel like you got an interesting novella rant, so something good came out of it. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.